This is Monami from Monami Scribblings, back this week with a very fun video. Let's get started. We are going to paint 6 very simple digital paintings and we are going to use 4 random colors. And now comes the painting number 1. So the website I used to pick the random colors, there you just go, press the spacebar and it just generates a random color for you with a color code. That is specially useful if you are getting an art block or something. It can act as a good cue to, a good color palette to help you ease things up. So anyway, for this first painting, I decided to do a country landscape, you can say, with some electric poles, some clouds to give the dramatic effect. While doing the electric poles, I immediately realized I don't remember what a pole looks like. And that is exactly the reason I should have used a reference in the first place. So of course, after googling for the reference, I realized that the silhouette of the electric poles are quite different actually. So yeah, I'm correcting that currently. So since the paintings are pretty minimal, it's very important that the shapes, the composition, the color balance, even the values are very important in this case. So anyway, the painting is done now and I'm using the shadows to bring out the crevices of the landscape, give the shadows. I'm trying to fix only one direction for the light so that the shadows fall in the opposite directions. I quite like how the outcome is coming out. And not to forget the clouds will also have the shadow because it also has a 3D-ish effect to it. And with it, the first painting is almost done. I just will add some noise, some color adjustments a little bit, and with it, it's done. The first painting in the series. And with that done, it's almost time to hop into the painting number 2. So for this painting, I wanted to capture more of a summer vibes, a countryside landscape, some green meadows. So that is why I use these colors, blue, greens and whites, the 3 very basic essential summer vibes. And also, of course, Studio Ghibli is very major inspiration for this, you can say, because they have such beautiful landscapes. So anyway, initially I'm just drawing out the basic shapes. I'm using the selection tools very much, as you can see, because it gets the job done pretty fast. So of course, if you want to get your painting done faster, remember that selection tool or lasso tool is your best friend. And a lot of people ask me in the comments about the textured brushes I use. But as you can see, in all these artworks, you can just do with the basic round brushes, the hard brush and the soft brush. Anyway, the painting is also done. Let's go to painting number 3. So this painting, I want to go and do more of a desert kind of landscape, but I want a little bit of a mystery kind of mood to it. So yeah, I will use the green color for the background and yellow for the desert sand shape thingies. So anyway, I'm keeping the shapes pretty simple. I'm breaking them down a little bit here and there to have a nice silhouette. The clouds are also very stylized, some nice swirly shapes. I'm also trying to draw a human-like figure using the same white color because it has a nice contrast against the green of the sky. So another thing I will also do is try to get a clear silhouette of the human against the green background. So yeah, that's what I did. I just erased the certain parts. So again, as usual with the shadow colors, I'm trying to bring out the shapes of the structures, the shadows, the lights. I'll also pick the green and use a soft brush and give some smoke kind of things with the same yellow color, right? I had quite fun while creating all of this because it's so creative and so fun to imagine what all you can draw with a limited color palettes, right? and especially when the colors are generated randomly. So yeah, I'll also link up that website which I used for this in the description box below, so that you guys can also go and check it out if you want. Anyway, this painting is also done. A nice desert landscape. Now let's go on to the next painting, number 4. For this, my inspiration was the cherry blossoms we see in animes, right? So I wanted some pretty flowers. To give that contrast to the baby pink like color, I wanted a dark background. So yeah, this purple worked quite fine. Anyways, yeah, branches with irregular shapes, and again I'm using the lasso tool to create the flower shapes. See, it gets the job done so much faster than if I had to go do it with the brushes and clean it up or something like that. But yeah, it's again a personal preference, I guess. I'm adding these bunches of flowers here and there. More the flowers, better it is, right? And also I'll add some petals here and there because it's unusual, right, that the flowers are sticking on the branches but none of the petals are falling down. So yes, once adding of the flowers is done, I'll add some petals here and there. Maybe you guys can also go ahead and try doing random landscapes. These are very basic, easy to do, and this won't take too much time. And especially if you do the colored thumbnails first, you know, it will help you out a lot. So as I said, I'm adding those little bits of flower petals here and there. After that's done, I'll then use the shadow color, but here instead of using as a shadow or setting as it multiply mode, I'll set it in the overlay mode. So instead of giving shadows with this color, I'll use it to give highlights, right? So yes, I'm using that same color only as it was there in the palette. As soon as I set the shadows to overlay mode, the painting got a life of its own. The branches are looking pretty good compared to the dark background. The flowers are also looking nice with the variation in tones. And also I'll give some motion blur on the loose petals. After that, as usual, I'll do some color adjustments, final color adjustments, some levels here and there. And with it, this is almost done as well. The beautiful cherry blossomish flowers are done now. Let's go and do painting number 5. So painting number 5, I wanted to draw a crop field but a much contrasting color palette. As you can see, I have the basic idea of what I'm going to do from the color thumbnail, so I'm just going ahead and selecting the areas or the divisions in between the field areas. So for the crops, as these are going from near us to farther away, so the size of the crops are going to change, right? So as we go further away into the distance, we can't see the clear definitions of the crops. In between the crops, it will mostly be tiny dots. And of course, I'll add some clouds with a third color. This immediately sets the sky apart from the ground. I'm using the same color I used in the clouds for the highlights of the crops as well. Time to go ahead and add some shadows. And yeah, with it, this is also done. A very simple painting again with a very few colors. Now, time to do the last painting. So for this also, I wanted to do a desert landscape again, but unlike the previous one, this will have a different mood, and also this will have a lot of cacti. So the shapes of the cacti I wanted to do here was pretty pointy, thin and slender, kind of that. So yeah, as you can see from the color thumbnail, I made the line arts already. I'm just going ahead and filling it. I'm using the selection tool again. When the selection is done, I'll just take the color from the color palette and fill it up. So as you can see, the road, the height of the cacti helped create a leading line. I also added some cacti hands in the front and some different shapes in the back, and adjusting a little bit here and there to have a more better composition. So for this also, I decided to add a human-like character in the back so that it gives a subject to look at or a point of interest basically. I'm using the color from the sky to draw the variations or the lines in the cacti, the little spiky pokey thorns and all of that. And again I'll use the same color for the shadow of the entire painting. And if you don't even want to use a shadow, if you want a very minimalistic silhouette like painting, then I guess you can skip the fourth color in all of these also, right? Then I added some nice clouds. I really like drawing clouds in these shapes. They're easier to draw and they also give something nice to the painting. I also picked color from the sky and used a soft brush to give that kind of aerial perspective, and that's it. Our last and final painting is also done. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below which of these is your favorite. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, I'll link it down below as well. And until next time, bye.